the two types of breakdown in reverse bias, that is Zener breakdown and avalanche breakdown. In last class we explained the topic called a Zener breakdown. So this Zener breakdown can occur when there is a high reverse bias and it is highly doped junction. So if we make a differentiation between the Zener breakdown and avalanche breakdown, both are occurring in a reverse bias only. At lower voltage, at lower reverse voltage, the Zener breakdown will occur because of heavily doped junction. So what happens here? The tunneling process will takes place from valence band to the conduction band. So the electrons which are present in the valence band, heavily doped valence band, they will jump to the conduction band and they participate in the current carrying function. So that process we call it as a tunneling. Now the next topic is avalanche breakdown. So this is another type of a breakdown that occurs in a reverse bias, that is avalanche breakdown. Avalanche breakdown typically occurs in a lightly doped junction at high reverse bias voltage. Zener breakdown, what we told, Zener breakdown will occur at a low reverse voltage but the junctions are highly doped. But when the P and N junctions are lightly doped, the breakdown which occurs in a reverse bias with a higher voltage, that type of breakdown we call it as a avalanche breakdown. The high electric field at a reverse bias junction causes an impact ionization. An EHP is created when high energy electron collide with it. Here one term, that is impact ionization, occur in the PN junction. That impact ionization is nothing but when we apply the reverse voltage for a particular PN junction, the electron will gain energy. So if this is a PN junction and if we apply the reverse voltage for the particular PN junction, the minority charge carriers which are present in the P junction, that is electron, majority charge carriers are hole. The electrons which are present as a minority charge carrier in a P junction, they will gain energy because of this reverse voltage and they will move back to the N region. So during their journey, they will collide with the covalent bonds which are present in the PN junction. We know covalent bond is formed by two electrons. So when it electron, that is a two electrons form the covalent bond. When this electron gain kinetic energy and go and hit with this covalent bond, what happens? It will create an electron hole pair. When this electron go and hit with the covalent bond, what happens? It will create an electron hole pair. So call this as an electron and a hole as this one. So when this electron go and hit with this covalent bond, electron hole pair is generated. So what they will do, they will break the covalent bond and they are freely available. So one electron will move here and the original electron. So now how many electrons are generated? Two electrons along with that one hole. So that hole will move back to the P region. So if this is the PN region, for example, if this is the PN region, P region, N region, minority charge carriers in a P region are the electron, minority charge carrier in N regions are the holes. So when reverse bias is applied, electrons which are present in a P region, they will gain energy and they will move back to the N region. So during their journey, they will hit the covalent bonds which are present in the junction. So because of that collision, what happens? Electron and hole pair is generated in the junction. So because of this electron hole pair, so how many electrons are generated now? The original electron, that is this electron, and the electron hole pair is generated, that electron also, and the hole will move back to the again to the P region like this. So two electron and one hole. Electron hole pair in the sense one electron and one hole, and the initial electron is there, no, that electron. So now 2 electrons are available for the further collision and one hole also. So this hole again go and hit with the covalent bond. Again 2 holes are generated and along with that one electron is generated. That is again electron hole pair is generated. So this collision process continues. So that is nothing but a impact ionization that is explained over here. See, here this is the original electron. When we apply the reverse voltage, it will gain the kinetic energy and it will move in the p-n junction. So during its journey, because of the high kinetic energy, it will collide with the covalent bond. So covalent bond is formed by 2 electrons as well as either a 2 electron or a 2 hole. So when it breaks the covalent bond, what happens? Electron hole pair is generated. So here the green color represents the electron and hole is represented by a saffron color. So electron hole pair is generated. So how many electrons are generated now? Because the original collision electron, this electron and the generated electron. So now 2 electrons are ready for further collision and one hole. So electron and hole is generated and original electron. So now this hole again go and collide with the another covalent bond. Because of that again electron hole pair is generated. So this electron move into the n region and the hole generated which will move to the p region and this original hole. So now 2 holes are there and 1 electron. Again this electron go and collide with the another covalent bond. So now how many electrons? 2 electrons and 1 hole, that will move again back to the p region. So whatever the generated electrons here, no, so they will come to the n region and generated holes, they will come back to the p region. So this process continues, that we call it as a impact ionization. So that 3 collision is explained over here. So this is the original electron. When it go and hit with the covalent bond, so 1 electron and the original electron and 1 hole is generated here. So this hole is again going to collide with the another covalent bond. Because of that the original, so this hole and the generated hole and the generated electron, this electron. So this electron again come back to the n region, that is the parent region. So again during its journey again it will collide with the covalent bond. So now how many electrons? 2 electrons and 1 hole. So this hole again go back to the p region. So this collision continues. So because of this collision, so there will be a very large current will starts to flow in a p-n region. So this collision we call it as an impact ionization. This process can repeat itself causing multiplication of carriers. So that is explained with the help of energy band graph. So we know EFP in a, so here this energy band graph for what we have to draw? For a reverse bias condition. So we know the Fermi level for n region for a reverse bias will be lower compared to the Fermi level for the p region. So here you can refer, it is lowered by the value of Q times VR, that is charge times the reverse applied voltage. So this is the energy band diagram which we already studied previous class. So now what happens? Due to this impact ionization, electron hole pair is generated. So this is the generated electron hole pair. So this is the electron which is which gain kinetic energy. So because of the collision it will lose the kinetic energy. Now 2 electrons are generated. So this is the hole that will go back to its original p region. So this is one simple clarity, so like how electron hole pair will be generated and how they will move back to its original p type as well as the n type material. So this is the 3 types of collision which they explained over here. So there is one equation. So for this collision is there, no, we call that collision by probability. So how the electron will collide with a covalent bond and the generated electron, how it will collide with another covalent bond. Similarly, in their collision a hole is also generated. So again this hole will make a collision. So this will continue. So there is one equation for this collision. So that we call it as either it is a p type or a n type collision. So probability of collision we refer by term p. So here, so that probability is mentioned as a p. So number of collisions are explained over here. Now for current conduction we consider only the electron moment for the current conduction. So for that reason we are considering only the electrons for simple understanding purpose. So here n in is the electrons entering from the p side to n side. So there will be p n in ionizing collision. So the probability when an electron after gaining a reverse, whatever the reverse applied voltage is applied for a p-n junction, the electron will gain the kinetic energy. So if that electron gain a kinetic energy, then the probability of a collision will be p n in. So that is the initial collision. So this p n in, what will it will do? It will generate electron hole pairs. So that is the initial collision. Similarly, the second collision, like the secondary collision, will be p n in into p. That will be the number of collision that happens in the secondary type. So if we multiply the probability with the n in into p, so that is nothing but a tertiary, and the fourth collision and fifth collision, it continues. So in general, what we can say, so n out, that is the total number of electrons which are out from the collision. In general, what we can say, if we add each collision, that is if we take a common as a n in, that is the initial electron. So this is the equation, that is 1 plus p square pq. So this process continues, and that there is a multiplication factor. So for a comprehensive theory, there should be an inclusion of EHP combination as well as a different probabilities of ionizing collision. The multiplication factor also we have to consider here. So that multiplication factor is nothing but a n out, number of electrons which are out from the collision, and n in. So n out equation we know. So n in and in a denominator and n in a numerator will get cancelled, and the multiplication factor that is left out is 1 plus p square and pq. So in general, what we can write, 1 plus p square can be written as 1 divided by 1 minus p. So this is about the multiplication factor. So this multiplication factor not only depends upon the probability of the collision, but also depends upon the applied reverse voltage. So that we can write it as a m is equals to 1 divided by 1 minus v by vbr power n. So this is nothing but so that multiplication factor not only depends upon the probability of collision, so that also depends upon the applied electric field, that is in the reverse bias. So if you see this graph, so you have to explain about, so before this, if this is the avalanche breakdown and this is the Zener breakdown, so we know avalanche breakdown occurs at a lightly doped p-n junction, that is lightly doped p-n junction, but Zener breakdown will occur for a highly doped p-n junction. And one more thing, avalanche breakdown occurs at a higher VR value. When VR reverse voltage is higher, then the type of breakdown occurs is a avalanche breakdown. When a reverse voltage is lesser, the type of breakdown occurs, that breakdown we call it as a Zener breakdown. If we know this one, then we can explain this graph. So on a y-axis we have a VBR, that is in volt, that is a reverse voltage, and on x-axis we have a ND, that is ND is nothing but a concentration of a doping. So how we are doping the p-n junction. So here on a y-axis, that is the voltage which is given as a 10 and a 100, 10 square, that is 100 and 1000. So in terms of volt which is given, and the doping, that is in terms of cubic centimeter per cubic centimeter. So that is given as a 10 power 15, 10 power 16, 17 and so on. So as we can see, for example, we consider for different semiconductor material, that is a germanium, silicon, gallium arsenide and gallium phosphide. So for these materials we consider this graph. So why we are drawing the germanium at lower and silicon after that a gallium arsenide, that depends upon the band gap, energy band gap for a particular silicon atom and germanium atom and gallium arsenide atom. So that variation is there, no, in this here. So the sequence why we draw this one is based on the band gap. So as we have on x-axis, that is the doping concentration. As doping concentration increases, what happens to the voltage? The reverse voltage, it starts decreases. As doping is more, the reverse bias voltage is decreasing. So what we can say, when as we have a highly doped PN junction, then the reverse voltage will be less. If for example, if it is doped to a 10 power 17, means the voltage required for this one, that is the reverse bias voltage, is about minus 40 volt. So why we want only a lesser value of a reverse voltage for heavily doped? Because as name says, the PN junction is heavily doped, there will be more collision will be there. Because of that collision, it requires a lesser voltage for the breakdown to occur. So we have two types of breakdown at lesser value of voltage. For example, we say this as a lightly doped, we call it as a lightly doped. So whatever the breakdown which occurs here at when it is lightly doped, the voltage required for the breakdown is high. So that type of a breakdown we call it as a avalanche breakdown. When it is lightly doped and voltage required is a more, that type of a breakdown we call it as the avalanche breakdown. When it is heavily doped, that is over here, when it is heavily doped and the voltage required here is less, so that type of a breakdown we call it as a Zener breakdown. So here we mention one more by a curve. So that is nothing but a tunneling process. So tunneling process is available in Zener breakdown. So when the P and N junctions are heavily doped and the voltage applied is less, so what happens? The crossing of bands will be there in a Zener breakdown. So what happens? Valence band and a conduction band, they come exactly opposite to each other. So what happens in that case? So whatever the electrons which are present in the valence band, completely filled valence band, they will jump to the conduction band empty states. They will occupy that empty states. So that process we call it as a tunneling. So you write this graph in exam and write it in your own words. That is how exactly the doping concentration will vary with the reverse bias voltage. So this completes Zener breakdown and avalanche breakdown.